Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this video we're doing part 4 of my Q&A series. Now you guys sent in a lot of questions, over 400 of them, so I'm just going to keep progressing through the list from oldest to newest. I'm going to go through them as fast as I can. I'll try to avoid duplicates and I'll answer as succinctly as possible, so let's get into it. Hank Vasquez asks, do I like Lego Star Wars? I used to, but I grew out of Legos a lot, just because they tend to look more brickish when they're done, and that's why I'm more into the Mega Block stuff now. I'm really not the biggest construction toy person. I don't have the time or space, really, but if I had to choose, I would go with Mega Bloks over Lego. I do wish Mega Bloks was able to get some of the licenses Lego had, because I think that'd be sweet, but I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. Just Monesto 2 asks, if you stated in the past that you do not buy Marvel Select and DC Direct due to the scale not matching Marvel Legends and DC UC, why are you getting the smaller DC collectibles icons figures? Because they fit in scale. I'm getting the ones that are 6-inch because they fit in scale to my DC UC and Marvel Legends. However, I'm not going to continue to collect the icons line because it's really unimpressive so far. So maybe down the road, once they progress a little bit, I might. But as of right now, I'm just going to finish off a few key characters, and that's it for the icons line. Second question is, does Hasbro ever try to get me to not tell the truth about how bad some of their figures are? No, they don't. However, they don't send me anything review sample wise. They don't send me anything. I don't know. I've heard that they don't send anybody anything, but I have the feeling that they do because just about every company does that. And I'm pretty sure they would never send me anything because I'm always honest about their figures, which means, unfortunately, I'm usually saying they're not very good. So that's one of the downsides of always being an objective reviewer. I don't get free stuff. Basically ever. Almost never. Harry Vernon asks, what's my favorite Marvel Legends figure? Well, there are quite a few that I like a lot, but every time someone asks me, the first one that comes to mind is Colossus. The classic Colossus figure, not the X-Men classics, but the classic Marvel Legends Colossus. Very nice figure. I like that one a lot. And I also do like this new Taskmaster a lot due to the ankle articulation in particular and the alternate heads. Vested Dreadsock. I'm not sure what your name is. Whatever your name is, sorry about that. When did I start collecting figures? I kind of already answered that one. When I was a kid, mostly. What do I like better, import figures or domestic figures? Both, depending. Some of the import figures are really great. Some of the domestic figures are really great. So it really just depends on the individual figures. I don't have a general bias toward either one. Adam MacArthur. What will be the next Play Arts Kai variant line? No idea. I know they're still working on Marvel right now. Hoptimus, Hoptimus, asks, do I like ice hockey? I am indifferent. I have no interest in it at all, really. So I guess not. I don't know. Not my thing. Which countries have I visited? Canada, and I live in the US. And my car is a Trans Am. That was his third question. George Fontzulas, sorry if I pronounced that incorrectly. What TV, movie, comic, media series do I wish they had figures for? For example, mine would be Fringe. Fringe was a good show for the most part. Toward the end, it started to fall off a little bit. But I would really like some quality figures from The Matrix. Basically just Neo and Trinity and Morpheus and the main characters in their Matrix outfits, not their real-world outfits. But I'd really love some of those because I'm a big fan of The Matrix. Particularly the first movie, but I enjoyed number 2 and 3 probably more than most people did, especially after watching them a few times. Julio Olvera asks, do I like Lego buildable figures such as Bionicle and Star Wars? No, especially not interested in Bionicle at all. I know there's a huge fan base out there for it. That's cool, do your thing, not my cup of tea, so unfortunately not in Star Wars, we already touched on. Edon Monbar asks, why do I have blonde hair in my icon, but black hair in real life? I don't have black hair in real life. You guys might be able to tell, in these videos in particular, or you might not be able to tell, because the way the light hits hair, it always turns really dark, and I don't have like a studio just full of lights. So it ends up getting dark because the hair itself, being many, many layers, kind of absorbs the light rather than bouncing it back out. But if you watch my live streams, you can see when the light's actually hitting my head directly, and it's not like a good camera, it's just a webcam. Or maybe even in some of these videos you can kind of tell. My hair is blonde. It's dark blonde, but it is blonde. It just looks really dark on camera. I don't know. Like I said, I don't have the 100% top quality equipment to make it look accurate. My hair is blonde. Blonde hair, blue eyes, just really dark blonde hair. Shoryukin667 asks, have I ever collected any Resident Evil figures? Sadly, yes. And the reason that's sad is because I had all of them. Every NECA Resident Evil figure they made, I had it. Except for after I sold all of them off. Anything they made after that I didn't buy, obviously. But it's sad because I wish I still had them. Though they were mostly static figures, I really enjoyed those a lot. You just depressed me, making me think about that. I really like the NECA Resident Evil line, and I had them all before I was reviewing, and now I don't have them anymore. I can't review them, and I can't afford to buy them all back, so I'm actually upset right now. I might tear. I'm not gonna. But yeah, they were cool figures, so I did have those, and I liked them a lot. Another person asked about Bionicle. I guess that's a hot topic. I already answered that, so I'm not going to answer that. Owen Tricks asks, what's your opinion on the brand new Berserk series? I don't know. I don't know much about it. I've heard that it's going to be on standard broadcast networks, like not cable networks. Maybe it is cable, I don't know. But either way, they're going to have to censor the crap out of it if it's anything like the original Berserk. And I don't even know if it's a new story arc, or if it's like a redoing of the original, or if it's a progression of the like continuing the manga on animation. So I don't know that much about it, but I'm curious to see it. I'm hopeful that they're going to release some more figures of it other than the ones that they've already shown at WanFest. Okay, this person's name is it's completely kanji, so I don't know, honestly, if it's Chinese or Japanese or something else. It doesn't look Korean, so I'm sorry, I don't know what your name is. But your first question is, do I prefer Marvel or DC? I think generally I prefer Marvel, but I like a lot of things about both, so I'm not really completely sold either way. I'm kind of on the fence, maybe leaning toward Marvel, but not entirely. Is Halo my favorite game series? Kind of, yes. There are some things that I like more than Halo, specifically like Super Mario RPG and various other games that stood out as particularly enjoyable games. But I don't know how much of that is nostalgia. I'm not sure, but as a whole, yes, Halo is my favorite series, I guess. And then he or she asks, do I collect Hot Toys or any 12-inch figures? Not really. I have the icons, most of the icons that I wanted anyway, from Marvel Legends. I have a few other odds and ends here and there. And then I'm going to be getting a Hot Toys Deadpool soon, and I'll be reviewing that. But I generally just don't like the Hot Toys because you can't pose them that much, so I don't collect them. 8-Bit Gamer asks, what is the best Deadpool figure under 7 inches, in my opinion? Well, there's really only the two, unless you're going to go down to the small scales, which I don't know about. We have the Toy Biz one, and then we have the Hasbro one. And the Hasbro one is garbage. Objectively, not very good at all. The Toy Biz one isn't great, but it's definitely better than the Hasbro one, so Toy Biz gets the vote. Bees asks, what is my favorite DBZ saga and my favorite character? My favorite saga is the Android/Cell saga. I particularly like the part before Cell shows up with the various androids. I like that part a lot, but then throughout Cell, I like that. And my favorite character, I think it's Piccolo. Even though they've nerfed him so much lately, I really like Piccolo. But I like a lot. I like most of the characters, so hard to say. My Noble117, this question's kind of dated now because we've heard lots of stuff since then. He asked if I've heard from any sources about Linda or Vale from the McFarlane line. Well, now that that line is dead, they're not getting made. Mattel now has the master license, and they're going to be making 6-inch figures. Hopefully we'll be able to complete those teams, but they're not going to match up with McFarlane. Gabe Hay asks, what is the best Spider-Man game I've ever played? I don't know. I haven't played that many of the more open world ones, but my brother did, and I watched him, and they were okay. I still think my favorite one, I think it was made by Treyarch a long time ago. It was incredibly difficult, but it was one of the first Spider-Man games that came out in I think it was GameCube? Pretty sure it was a GameCube game. Modern era, not like the older side-scroller SNES or N64 games. It was definitely post-N64. I can't remember what it was exactly, but I really liked that game. I remember there was lots of like robots that attacked you, and like security bots and lasers and tripwires and things like that. If anybody knows what I'm talking about, then you'll remember that. I know you fight Shocker in like a subway, I think. You have to fight him in that game. Anyway, that was a really good Spider-Man game. Okay, let's do one more question and call it a wrap for this video. Okay, I'll do 2 questions because one's going to be really quickly. It's going to be really quick. Where'd it go? Oh, Philip Samuel asks, do I know how to do magic? No. When I was a little kid, I learned a couple of tricks and things, but generally no. And then the other question is from Apex Saint. What would be your ideal weapon in a zombie apocalypse? Well, most people would say like a sniper rifle or a shotgun or a flamethrower, and while those things would be handy, they run out of ammo eventually. I think Michonne got it right with the katana. As long as your blade's even remotely sharp, you're going to be able to fight forever because you're not going to break it on a zombie, especially squishy zombies like in The Walking Dead. So definitely a blade. Definitely. That would be the most useful, most practical. Of course, if you get overwhelmed, you're screwed, but you would be anyway with a gun, so katana for sure. All right, guys, that'll do it. Thanks for watching. That was the end of the part 4. I still have a bunch of questions, so there will be more episodes in this series coming soon. Thanks for all the questions. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.